Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another video. Guys, on today's weekly news roundups, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about some more El Clasico fallout. Gundogan, he came out with some very, very strong words, some very big words towards the squad. Also, we're going to be talking about El Clasico a little bit more in depth, just giving some more takes and some more opinions about the game. And then lastly, guys, we're going to be talking about Lionel Messi's historic, amazing eighth Ballon d'Or win. The Eternal and the Infinity GOAT gets another one added to his collection. And then we'll also give props to Barca feminine player Aitana Bonmati, who also won the feminine 2023 Ballon d'Or. But let me introduce my co-host for tonight, Alvaro.
Let's go, guys.
Okay, perfect. And guys, remember, I post a link on Twitter at CulePodcast. If you guys want to join and also give your thoughts, comments, whatever, just go on my Twitter page, click on the link, and then you'll be able to join. But lastly, guys, follow us on all of our social media platforms. Everything's posted down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, guys, let's just get straight into the episode. Let's talk about El Clasico a little bit more in detail. But, Alvaro, thoughts on El Clasico? What did you make of the game?
A very solid first half, and then a very underwhelming second half. I mean, we saw in the first, early in the second half, even we were up to like the minute 60. We were dominating, and we had way too many chances that we missed out on. I think we can all agree on that. We had way too
Yeah.
many chances.
Yeah.
Cancelo,
Fermin
um,
Lopez,
Fermin Lopez. So I mean,
Inigo.
it's a little annoying. And then I mean the Bellingham goal, that's probably goal of the season so far. You can't really say anything.
Do you put any blame on Ter Stegen?
Honestly, when I saw him, I don't know shit about goalie, so I can't tell you anything. But why did he not use both hands? Good question. Because literally does like this.
Yeah.
I
Let me
mean,
see
bro,
if I
if you
can.
if you protect that a little more, you probably get it. I mean, I don't know. He was blocked by Christensen and shit, so I mean, I can't really say and not much because again, I'm not a goalie, so I really can't tell you. But it was a golazo. And the second one, I mean, it was Modric putting his foot in at the right timing. You can't really say
Mm,
anything about the second goal. So
um, well, I mean, for the first goal, I think that is very sayable. Let me see if I can bring up the video, but I blame Ter Stegen for that first goal because Ter Stegen has come under a lot of criticism recently. Because in the biggest of moments, he basically he disappears. In the biggest of moments when it's a game of fine margins, you need your keeper to bail you out, and that's not something that he does. Let me see if I can put. Okay, so like right here, wait, a little bit more. Okay, let me share my screen, and that way you'll be able to see. But look at this. Okay, this is okay. The ball is right above Fermin Lopez right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but Ter Stegen, he does get a hand to the ball. It's not like it's a completely like
he does. Yeah,
unbelievable.
I know he has slight deflection. I know.
Yeah, Ter Stegen gets the ball. And as I said, when it's a game of fine margins, you need your keeper to bail you out. You need your keeper to save that. Because in the video that I post relatively after this, you see a 50-minute goal compilation of Ter Stegen turning a ghost in Europe, turning a ghost, and then also what other keepers, what Ederson, what Courtois, what Alisson, top keepers, what Neuer, shots that are very similar to Jude Bellingham, and they pull up a save. And in the European games, and this is why I say Ter Stegen, he should have been gone a long time ago. Like after, I would say probably that Anfield, Barcelona should have been looking at a replacement because I'm sorry, Ter Stegen, his shot saving ability has declined massively.
I mean,
I I, I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if
tell
you
you right
agree.
now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I always he's the team captain, and he's playing. He has been last year, for example. Last year, he was extremely good. We saw how solid he was. I know, and in the UCL, blah 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 blah. He wasn't that solid. He had a good year last year. So
Mm.
I understand where you're coming from.
But,
But
but but but
again,
even in the tag against Manchester United, do you remember him being getting beaten near post by Marcus Rashford?
Yeah.
Yeah, the opening goal to make it, what's it called? 2-1, something like that.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, when you compare his quality and what's available out there, don't tell me you would have gotten Onana over
No,
to.
no, no, no. I don't know. I wouldn't go on nada.
So what I'm
I
telling you
would have
is,
gone El Dibu.
I'm again. I didn't want to be the guy that said it because I don't want to take away. I don't want to take credit away from Bellingham's goal because it was awesome.
Yeah,
But
it's
and I don't want
savable.
to. I don't want to seem
It's
like that kid that's like, oh, like I could have stopped that. I could not have stopped that. But Ter Stegen, who's a class goalie, I'm glad you brought this up because I didn't want to bring it up because I was gonna sound like an idiot. But I agree. I think he could have stopped that ball. I don't know.
no. For example, I'm not saying it's an easy save whatsoever. Because it's not easy. It's a powerful shot, very fast. But the thing is, you're supposed to be a world class keeper. Keepers of your level save that. Why aren't
Yeah.
you saving that as well? And this is not like, for example, this is not like a one time thing. This happens in every single big match. You do not turn up. Um, but I don't know. Just that was a quick little rant on Ter Stegen. But do you have any other thoughts on the game, or no?
No, I mean that second goal pissed me off because again, like it was just Modric sticking his foot out and
Yeah,
very unlucky. I'm kind of mad that there was really no one watching Bellingham. Bellingham just jogged into the center
yeah.
of the goal. But I mean, the Barca missed way too many chances. They looked like they were happy with a 1-1 tie. They weren't really doing much after Bellingham scored in the first goal. So it's frustrating, man. But
It is. It is. But guys, now let's talk about Gundogan because Gundogan came after the match and he said these words right here. Ilkay Gundogan expected more frustration and anger from the Barcelona dressing room after losing to Real Madrid. These are his words specifically. After such a result, I wish for more frustration, more anger, and more disappointment. There has to be more emotion when you lose. And continuing, this is what he posted in social media. One unpleasant, one unnecessary result yesterday. So frustrating. We need to take a great step now and learn from that. And just continuing on, and this is what Fabrizio Romano posted. People in dressing room are disappointed, but especially after such a big game, I want to see more frustration, anger, etc. This is a problem. You need to react and be angry. And then he also follows up with saying, like, "Hey, I did not come to Barcelona to lose these type of games." And Ivan, I want to ask you, what do you make of these words? Because these are some very powerful words, and he's criticizing like a lot of people in this statement. But in particular, he was mentioning you too. But I
I mean,
don't, we
honestly,
don't know who those two players were.
look, those are the words of someone that just won the treble.
Yeah,
He does not wanna, and I agree with him. And that team is young, and young teams should show more emotion at times. I feel like when you play veterans, with a team of veterans, the veterans have been there, so they have the mentality of, oh, we'll get them next time. The youngsters should have that killer mentality that, oh, I don't want to lose. I simply don't.
yeah.
So I mean, I agree with them. And a team that's trying to make noise in Europe after having two very shitty years in Europe, they should have done more, and they should have reacted in a better way to such loss. So I agree with him. I completely agree with him. And I like that he said that because it makes the Barca players look bad, so it adds pressure on them to perform better. So
Well, once again, I completely will agree with that with his statements. He not only was basically Gavi also angry and Gundogan upset, but these are, you don't want to lose El Clasico. And at some point, as you said, these are young players. We cannot have this. And this is Barcelona. We can't have that loser mentality for saying like, "Hey, we played well. We deserve to win. We'll go and we'll go and perform better next time." No, because like at
exactly.
some point you need to show up, and you actually need to show up in the biggest matches, perform. And for example, Gundogan coming in and saying these words, I think it's a fantastic sign. Because Barcelona, they played a great game against Real Madrid, but it was only up to the 60th minute, and Barcelona, they did not finish the game out. So I understand that people say, "Hey, this is a great game. We can take things from it," but at the same time, we also have to understand at some point we have to get over the line. We have to get over the line because if not, we're going to be saying the same thing over and over and over, and then we're going to come towards the end of the season, and Barcelona's going to be ending up trophyless. It's that simple. Um, and I really like that winner mentality that Gundogan is basically setting, and I hope more players take up to follow that, and basically have that mentality, because I want to compete at the highest level. And if we want to match, for example, Man City and all these teams, and basically win the major European trophies, we need to have that into our game. But also, I wanted to talk about is Orgромeo. Orgромeo has also come under massive criticism. He was at fault for Jude Bellingham's second goal, as that was his man, and he was making the run inside the box, and he wasn't able to track Jude. And so I ask you, what do we do with Orgромeo? Because he had
Look,
he
honestly, we're criticizing him, comparing him to how he started the season, but at the end of the day, he's playing how he's playing. Like, he's playing up to his contract. Um,
yeah,
let's hope that he bounces back, because if he does bounce back, that he will be playing out of his mind. Because I mean, how much was the signing?
3.5,
Exactly. So it was a steal. So I
3.5.
mean, I don't know. It's as simple as that. It's a little disappointing, but then you have to think it was a steal at the time. So he is expected to underperform, and he is expected to struggle. So we just have to hope that he bounces back, and if not, it really wasn't that much of a waste. So
But the best performances that we've seen from Order they were actually with Frankie De Jong. And Frankie De Jong hasn't been with the team for the past, I would say, what, like a month or two? He got injured, and
yeah,
so he hasn't been there. And we've seen that. Order his best performances were with Frankie De Jong, and he struggles without him. And so hopefully, when Frankie De Jong comes back, we can see Order improving. But this just once again shows Order is just a stopgap, guys. Or we signed Order for 3.5 million, and we didn't pay a massive fee, and it just shows we need depth in the squad, and that CDM position is a key position that we want to be looking for next summer. And I don't know who Barcelona is going to be looking for. There's tons of names being thrown around, but Barcelona, they're going to need a top DM in order to compete. And once again, you have players like Zubamendi, Kimmich, and some youngsters being thrown around. But if you want to be at the highest level, you need a top CDM. Um, and another person who was criticized was Xavi, uh, because of his substitutions. He
yeah.
brought on Lamine Yamal, played him on the left. He brought on Rafinha, played him on the right, and he brought on Lewandowski for Fernando Torres, and he also brought on Romeo. Alvaro, what do you make of Xavi's substitutions? Do you think they were
Honestly,
right or no?
he completely changed the attack when the attack wasn't doing a bad job. So I mean, he just did, and he did that. Wait,
Bless you.
sorry.
No, no
Thank you.
worries.
Um, it was kind of a desperation move. He entirely subbed out that attack, and I mean, Ferran Torres was not having a bad game. Um, Fermin Lopez, I mean, it was kind of understandable, but as a whole, those three moves, I mean, they didn't do shit. In
Yeah.
other words,
They, they,
I really don't go why he played Lamine Yamal on the left. So yeah, I mean, I guess he should have played on the right side, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. He made those three moves out of desperation. You can tell. I
Yeah.
mean,
I would also say that they're negative moves. They're moves that, for example, are reactive instead of proactive. I understand that hindsight is 2020, but Lewandowski, Rafinha, these are players in which they haven't had that many minutes. They're coming back from injuries, and playing them in this type of game, especially knowing that Ferran Torres, for example, he was in an okay game, but he wasn't bad. He was putting in the work. Fermin Lopez was having a fantastic game, and you bring on Oromeo for him. Oromeo, which is defensive substitution, is you're just basically saying, "Hey, Real Madrid, come on to us. We're allowing you to attack us." I don't think that that was the right approach, and I. I understand the criticism, but at the same time, I don't think this performance was particularly Xavi's fault. I would say there are isolated instances in which some players they should be doing better, and at the team as a whole, at the end, I think they were gassed. Um, but I don't know. Just rounding off, just any final thoughts on El Clasico, and just talking about Gundogan's words or anything in specific. Just any final thoughts.
People, Barca fans are gonna blame the injury bug with Pedri and Frankie and Conde. I mean, you were winning the game and you let it go, and letting that game go is not for injury reasons. It's for the players throwing the game away. We're thinking, oh, we have a 1-0. Let's just play back. Look what happened. They got bit in the ass. And I mean, I guess they're gonna try to win in Bernabeu. There's not really much to say. I mean,
Yeah.
I was pissed off. You score in the first 10 minutes and you don't do shit the rest of the game. And a game that
Yeah.
you have under control entirely up to the Bellingham goal. So
Um. What? Okay. And last question. What would be your midfield? If everyone was fit, for example.
I've been telling you for a while. I mean, I think the ideal midfield, if Gavi runs a foreman, it will have to be Gundogan, Frankie, Pedri, and Gavi. If he runs a three-man midfield, I still want to see a little bit of Frankie as pivot, and then you maybe play Pedri, and then you have Gavi again in that awkward spot where you don't know if you're gonna play him on the wing or if you're just gonna bench him. Because I think Gundogan. I mean, you kind of need his presence on the field. So
You're right. You're right. And I think also Gundogan is gonna, gonna add that extra bit of quality and experience because if you don't,
exactly.
you have a relatively young midfield. But guys, now let's talk about the big topic. Lionel Messi has won his eighth Ballon d'Or. Do you know how crazy that is? Eight. Look at that. What an amazing photo. I can already, I like just scrolling through Twitter was amazing.
Very pretty photo.
Very pretty photo. But I don't know, thoughts on Messi's eighth Ballon d'Or win. The top three were Messi, Haaland, and Mbappe. Do you think that Messi's Ballon d'Or was deserved or no?
You know what I think. I mean, a lot of people are saying that Haaland should have been the one because he won the treble, whatever. Messi led a team that on paper, Argentina on paper was not World Cup favorites. He led that team to the World Cup. He was the best player in the World Cup. He carried that team in the final. What else can you ask for then? And
Yeah,
he did so, and he did so and way past his prime. We understand that
at 35.
a player like him, yeah. His prime is extended. He's not in his prime anymore, and he still did that. So
Yeah. It's just credit to Messi's longevity.
yeah,
Messi has been at the top level for so long. He's a player that's won the Ballon d'Or in three different decades. He's won it in 2009. He's won it in the 2010s, and then he won it in 2023. Just insane longevity. He's been at the highest level. And he's been the best player minimum, or among the best players for the past I would say what 15 years, 16 years, something like that. Um, and once again, Messi just just adding more to his resume and just making it anyone and making it harder for anyone just basically to top him as the greatest of all time. I want to give him some praise, but then also I want to talk about Anita Bonmati because she has also won the Ballon d'Or. She's a Barcelona player, and now I want to give congrats to her because once again, both of these players have come from La Masia, and it's just showing the power of La Masia. I want to give congrats to both of them. Jude Bellingham, he's also won, I believe, the young player award, the Kepa Trophy, which I think is a little bit undeserved because I think there's a little bit of recency bias looking at Jude Bellingham, for example, because last season you could argue it was more likely that Musiala or Balde
yeah.
were.
I heard a lot of discussion between the Musiala and um and Bellingham talk. So
Yeah, I mean, like
yeah,
Bellingham, I believe like a lot of people are taking into account his performance this season, which that's not in the criteria. This trophy's for your performance last season.
yeah,
And also something that's weird is that Pedri and Gavi were in basically like the ranking, but if you win the trophy, you can't win it again, which is a little bit weird. But
yeah.
it's their thing. Bellingham has won it, which props to him. You guys know my thoughts on Bellingham, specifically his performance in El Clasico, but It's such an amazing moment. But I don't know, were you able to see the video crowning Messi for his in his in the ceremony, like
Yeah, yeah, I
like the
did.
video?
I did.
Thoughts on that?
What the same thoughts that you had. I mean, not much to say. It was awesome. So
I mean, it was, bro. Like, you know what? I want to see that video just like
pull
posted
it
just
up.
by itself. Yeah, for example, let me see if I can find it. Maybe the official like Ballon d'Or page has it. Um, I'll have to look. Let me see. But that's crazy. Also, El Dibu, he won the best goalkeeper. Um, but just rounding up the Ballon d'Or debate. Alvaro, who do you think is gonna win the next Ballon d'Or? Or who do you think are the favorites?
I got money on our boy Erling.
Okay, so you think that Erling Haaland is gonna win the next Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, I mean, we already know that the gold debate is gonna carry on with Haaland and Mbappe. We already know that.
But keep in mind, next year is the Euros. So most likely, whoever performs at the Euros is also possibly gonna win the the Ballon d'Or and the Copa America.
Unless City repeats the treble like season. So I mean, and again, unless someone like Messi, which there's no one like Messi, repeats what they repeated for to win a Ballon d'Or, someone like Haaland doing what he did last year would have won the Ballon d'Or. So I mean, even if Man City was to win the league, which I mean, I know right now they're not leaders, but even if they were to win the league and get, let's say, to the UCL final and lose in the final, Haaland's individual numbers could be a candidate for another Ballon d'Or finalist, but we'll see. Because again, we've seen crazier things happen in the Ballon d'Or. We see a player come out of nowhere and steal it from the rest. So we'll see.
Yeah, you're completely right. But I'm gonna put my money on Jude Bellingham. I'm gonna put
Really?
that yeah on Jude Bellingham, just because you know that Madrid PR.
Yeah,
It's actually insane,
yeah,
and as well, England they are looking as one of the favorites for the campaign. But you can also say Mbappe. But the thing is, Mbappe's in Ligue 1, and I
If
don't think that
Mbappe does not
PSG.
leave from if Mbappe does not leave, he's not gonna win shit. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. People,
So
even though they don't really pay attention that much to Ligue 1, if Messi and Neymar they aren't there, it's that simple. No
yeah,
one wants to watch Mbappe. No one wants to watch PSG without the stars, and that's just shown. You know, like no one is bidding for the TV rights of Ligue 1. And that's just simply the case. But Mbappe, you know, he is a shout, but once again, I think it's gonna be Jude, just because like I think um England they do have a shot at winning the Euros. I know France is the favorite, but who knows? And
yeah. I
as
mean,
well,
nah, they're always the favorite. So
yeah, they're always the favorites, but you know, since they don't end up winning it. And then lastly, you also have Jude Bellingham with Madrid, and that Madrid PR. But guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. What do you guys make of our reaction to El Clasico? To stay in under more criticism, or Romeo as well. And what do you guys make of Gundogan's words? Are you guys in agreement with that? Do you think Gundogan was overly harsh, for example? Do you think that he should have been more critical of Barcelona, or do you think that, or are you in complete agreement with what he said? And lastly, guys, what do you guys make of Lionel Messi's eighth Ballon d'Or win and a historic night for the GOAT? And then lastly, who do you think is going to win the next Ballon d'Or? But guys, I thank you guys for watching. And as always, guys,